Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of the vlogs. We've had a little bit of time off, the Monday off, yesterday's Soup Monday, but welcome to the beginning of the week here on the channel. Today, as you can see, we're not at Leander Club this morning, we're at Dorney Lake where the 2012 Olympics were held, so that's pretty cool to be rowing here with the Olympic rings dotted around the course itself, and it's a big difference to be on the lake rather than on the river, but we will have to get used to the river again once we're back at Henley, because Henley Royal Regatta is obviously coming up fast and will obviously be on the river. But now it's time to get on the water for our first session. Oh yeah! And we've made it off the water. We're in Ed's car crew room this afternoon. Got my bagel because remember, food is fuel. Ed's got his Ribena because food is fuel. And as you can tell from the title, and as I said this morning, we're rowing at Dorney Lake. Dorney Lake is the Olympic venue, was the Olympic venue for 2012. I volunteered here in what year was that?
2011.
2011, while Ed was being a big lad and rowing in
The Junior Worlds Double.
the Junior Worlds Double. How was it? How was rowing at that time?
It was very strange rowing somewhere that you knew was going to become like a very prestigious place. But I'd obviously already rowed there before. It did have a different air to it. Obviously, when it's a big event, it sort of everything changes. Obviously, Junior Worlds isn't like there's not that many people there. Mainly just like parents and stuff, but it's good.
And then did you get to see the Olympics here?
Yeah, they invited us to see the Olympics from having done Junior Worlds.
Oh, awesome.
And I was lucky enough to get 2 sets of like tickets. One from my cousin who was like, "Oh, do you want to come with me?"
Yeah.
And then another day as well.
All right. Because you had to. Because for those that don't know, you had to sort of apply to get tickets, but you couldn't choose.
Yeah, it was a ballot system.
Not
so
a song.
Not a ballad.
So you had to like essentially put your details in the sort of ballot.
I think you could say what you would
wanted,
yeah.
If it wasn't guaranteed you could get that. So you could say, I want to see rowing, I want to see beach volleyball and tennis maybe, and then you end up with archery and swimming, like other completely different sports. But I think there's quite a lot of there's loads of people here for the
rowing.
the race.
Yeah, it was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think just in general there was loads of people
all around
everywhere. There was barely any seats at any event.
Yeah. And even I've heard, so you row at Henley and it's like a stadium, and that was like even more.
The Dorney Roar, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
people
it's just
stamping their feet and trying to
outrageous. Because I remember I think it was Pete Reed said he was on the start line,
and
he heard like the announcement on the TV and whatnot. They had an announcement, and just some almighty, like you just said, a Dorney roar from the start line, and he said he was like trying not to rip the rigger off and upset the boat too much because he was so like, "Ah!" That's awesome. Hopefully in the future we'll feel something like that. But were Marlow and Wallingford on that?
Yeah.
So we had to boat. We had to boat right at the top of the warm-up lake, and in the last 500 metres for Marlow and Wallingford.
Because they were setting all the stuff you weren't
all
allowed.
the grandstands were up. So the last 500 metres, no coaches were allowed in.
Right.
So it was you were racing down with like the standard noise, and supporters were only up to 500 metres. And after that, it was just dead quiet.
Yeah, it was weird.
As everyone was just hooning it towards the finish line. It was really weird. But it was epic going through, just seeing all the stands like as high as you could see, and then having to spin under the Olympic rings. It was the first time they were kind of. It was like my first side-by-side regatta, so it was like, oh my god, what's going on?
And you thought that's how all regattas were?
I was like,
this is it.
Where are the people?
Why are the grandstands not full for seeing Robson?
18 quads.
Oh yes. And how did you fare in said race? Fourth. Nice work.
In
but
the F final.
in the F. But now, like we said, we're fueling up, and then we'll talk a little bit about sort of the water itself in a little bit. So let's get to it. And now we get on the water. And we have made it back to the club after training for some food, because remember, food is fuel, and we have some interesting juices today. What's your juice there, Mr. Stanhope?
It's the fruit twist squash. It's got orange and blackcurrant.
Interesting decision. So today we're at Dorney Lake for our training, but we're going to fuel up and then have a little chat about Dorney Lake. Are you? And we've made it outside of club after fueling up and having a little bit of a chill time watching some TV after training. But like I said, we're discussing a little bit about Dorney Lake. Ed, we're talking about what it was like to actually be here when, be at Dorney Lake, be rowing when they were prepping for the 2012 Olympics at Dorney Lake. But now it's, obviously I've spoken about the differences between rowing on a river and rowing on a lake before, the differences sort of the stream, no stream, and how Dorney itself, the wind can affect that lake differently to the wind here at Henley. But being like rowing on an Olympic regatta, Olympic lake, somewhere where people have sort of reached the peak of their rowing careers, it's just that sort of little bit special. It's that little bit of an atmosphere which is pretty cool to experience, and it's awesome that it's just down the road from Henley here as well. So we get to go train there every so often, as you might have seen through the vlogs. But it is, like Ed said, it was really cool to see and row in when all the stands were up and everything, and like Robson said as well, they couldn't go all the way down to the bottom when the coaches, so it was dead silent, and there was nobody on the stands for the regattas before the Olympics. But now, since everyone has access to it, it's just that sort of, you have the Olympic rings around the lake, and it's like a little bit of a reminder of what was there and what it would have been like, hearing those cheers at the start line, at the finish line, and everything like that. But also for other places as well, for like me and motivation in the future, saying, okay, I know people that have rowed here and won gold medals here or at Dorney Lake, and so maybe in the future I could do that. But that is in the future. Right now we're going to recover for the rest of the day, and we're focusing on Henley Raw Regatta coming up now. The regatta itself starting a week tomorrow, so it's coming in very, very fast. But that will be it for today's video, Yam Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A little bit of a chat and a little bit of rowing. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button and have a good one.